You're probably looking at this thinking to yourself, oh, this isn't BDSP. And technically it is. It's Platinum. And I decided to do a Randomized Nuzlocke run. Full and complete. Now, the simple rules for Nuzlocke, for those who do not know, you have to nickname every Pokemon that you get so you feel more attached to them. You can only catch one Pokemon per route unless you get a fishing rod like in these older games. Then you can technically catch two if the route has a fishing spot. And if a Pokemon dies, it's dead forever. I started off this first run with a Camerupt on accident. I wanted to pick Gliscor, but since I had my super fast emulator going at 4 times speed, I accidentally picked Camerupt. And you'll understand why this is relevant pretty soon. This battle went nice and quick with an unexpected one-shot kill. After receiving my lovely running shoes and taking a look at my failure of a Camerupt, I took it over to Rowan's lab to give it a nickname. Coming into Rowan's lab, I named this Camerupt Runs Dead, because in all honesty, I didn't want to try to beat this game in a Nuzlocke setting with something that was 4 times weak. And my first Pokemon was actually a Quillfish. Interesting story about this Quillfish. It didn't get caught. And then I promptly restarted the run. This time, though, I came back with a vengeance. Luckily for me, though, there was a Gardevoir in the starting box, so that's immediately what I went with. Now, its moveset was fairly interesting because it only had one attacking move. And, yeah, the early part of this, until I got the absolute carry of my squad, was interesting to say the least. I thought it was quite funny. I named this Gardevoir Rule 34, as it seemed humorous at the time, considering the fact that it had Rock Wrecker as its only damaging move. And then Lucas showed me how to try to catch a Pokemon. That was fun. Then I went back to Twin Leaf Town and fished right behind my house, and I caught the carry of this run. This Chikorita is the only reason why I was able to finish this run. It took all 5 of my Pokeballs, though. I promptly named this Chikorita Papaleaf. After that, I ran back up to Jubilife to challenge Clam, my rival, to a battle, going over to Ouroboros City. The Nidoqueen didn't give me much trouble, as Papaleaf's moveset was actually ridiculous. After doing a nice little battle trying to get over to Ouroboros City, Chikorita evolved into Bayleaf, and Papaleaf ascended to his final form. Or not yet. We still gotta beat Fork first. I don't know why I slowed it down for the first gym and I never did it again. So, yeah. Just enjoy and watch Papaleaf cut Latios down in a very funny exchange of the fact that he got a ghost type move in his moveset. One of the things that is common with randomizers that I run is I randomize the movesets too. It's preferred the same typing, but you can have outlier moves like Shadow Claw, for example, that will appear on random Pokemon. Later on, I got a Tauros that could fly. Everything was pretty good. And of course, after ending Warwick's hopes and dreams, we sped back up to 4 times and never changed it. I ran back up to Jubilife to help Lucas with these bowl cuts, and in all honesty, the bowl cuts weren't really too much of a challenge. Not even Cyrus was too much of a challenge really in this run, all things considered. Unfortunately though, since this run was absolutely tragic, in which I didn't get basically any Pokemon, or that all the Pokemon that I got died, my team is always small. And Papaleaf was the only one that could learn Rock Smash, so here we are. Fighting Mars was gonna be simple, and then Carnivine nearly one-shot Gardevoir, which is kind of concerning, so I threw Papaleaf in, you know, I thought he could handle it. Don't anyone ever tell you in a game like Platinum that Rock Smash isn't useful. And this battle was absolutely tragic. I believe that Papaleaf could take it. Unfortunately, this Lopunny had Aeroblast, so I wanted to get him out quick. And it just absolutely murks Rule 34. And I lose my starter. Not even 2 badges in. Still 1 badge in. I was fortunate enough, though, that Papaleaf was actually pretty tanky at this stage, so he was able to tank the Aeroblast pretty well. Unfortunately, though, this was the first of many Pokemon that I had to release. I think I caught, in the total of this run, probably somewhere close to 26, and only 4 of them that I ever caught lived to the end. I got a lot of Pokemon killed. And I almost had this near-death experience with Scyther, because Papaleaf was the only Pokemon I had at the time. So that was scary. Coming outside of the Eternal Force, though, I got my Meganium. Papaleaf was in his final form. And then I challenged Gardenia. I should not have won this. She started off with the Torkoal, which was already pretty scary. I didn't have any Pokemon outside of Papaleaf, so I was going into this with no expectations, and I killed the Torkoal fine, and the Arcanine comes out. Lady Luck blessed me, because this Arcanine had Sunny Day too. I got a nice critical hit on the Shadow Claw, and I was able to straight through this gym battle barely. If I had died here, that would have been the end of the run. And then we immediately moved on to the Galactic Building where I challenged Jupiter. Jupiter was a little bit of a pushover for this battle, but that's just because I had Shadow Claw. The fact that she had a Weedle just makes me laugh. The randomizers can do terrible things or great things. And then I immediately ran straight to Fantina as well. This battle also did not... I didn't get out of this battle scot-free, sadly enough. It's the fire types in this run that were really giving me the most trouble. Just getting through this gym alone, I had to sack 3 Pokemon. I lost Lucario to 1 Fire Punch. I only had Papaleaf and Eggsy, so Executor was going to go down anyway, so I knew I had to get some chip in and sack him, unfortunately. Also that Papaleaf could live. It's really the fire types were the worst thing about this run, in all honesty. The fire types are giving me so much issues. Since grass is weak to so many different things, I was so scared going into a lot of fights. And of course, after the Fantina battle, you immediately run and challenge your rival afterwards. And at this point, I only had Papaleaf again, the solo Mon going against the world. I am never going to give shit to the Shell Bell in runs ever again. When I put the Shell Bell on Bayleaf at the beginning of this run, it never came off. The Shell Bell was such a useful item and saved me out of some really, really dicey situations too. After beating the rival, I of course ran back to heal and had this near heart attack with this Pokemon breeder. You'll see what I mean by the Shell Bell is the greatest thing in this game. Had I not had the Shell Bell there, Glalie would have killed me and ended the run. I only had Arrow left. I threw Arrow out because I needed to heal. I needed to heal him. I needed to heal Papaleaf. And I thought for sure this was going to be a sack of another Pokemon. But Lady Luck smiled upon me. And the Medicham did not attack. But don't you worry though, the Gorbis did die eventually. Almost every Pokemon that I caught outside of the very end Pokemon for the Elite Four, every single one of them died. Except for Papaleaf. I went straight to Maylene right afterwards. This battle was an absolute pushover after those 2 near nightmares at the hands of fire types. I was really thankful that this fight was easy. And immediately after that, I went straight over to Pastoria, fought my rival, and this fight was stressful. I finally had a full team of 6, finally, because there's a lot of Pokemon you can catch in between Heartholm and Pastoria, and luckily enough, I was able to get through this, I believe, scot-free. I had a lot of really dicey battles with the rival where I was in a real bad spot because my team wasn't leveled up, or it was just Papaleaf and it would have been over. I had a lot of really dicey fights with the rival in this game while doing this run. And then I went immediately to challenge Crasher Wake. Crasher Wake, thankfully, was another super easy one. The two back-to-back easy gyms after Gardenia and Ghost Lady. Oh dear God, I was so happy that these two fights were easy. If it doesn't go to show just how much Papaleaf carried this entire run, his level at the Elite Four will show you just how much I had to use him. Just got by. And I went straight to Selected Town to return the old charm to Cynthia's grandma, and then Cyrus ran up to me with the weakest team that I would have expected. And then I immediately ran over to Papaleaf to battle the rival. This rival fight was interesting. I still had a full team of 6 because my whole team got wiped earlier on and I had to refill my pockets. And luckily there were a lot of routes and encounters that I could have gotten while getting over to Papaleaf. Unfortunately though, Iron Island was not kind to me and I was not able to get any new Pokemon from there. I did hang out with Riley for a bit and get the egg, which ended up dying anyway as well. So, it is what it is. This pincer, though, is the reason why this fight went horribly. It one-shot Big Boss. He had such high defense, I thought he could have took it. I had no other option. I had to throw out Papaleaf here, or else everyone else was going to die. So, thankfully, Papaleaf was an absolute beefcake. Took out Pinsir on his own. And then I switched back out to Wob, trying to contend with the Magby. This was a mistake. So, against my better judgment, I threw Papaleaf back in. And you know what? It just worked out. Byron gave me a little bit of trouble. There was his Typhlosion right at the beginning. I had gone up against a couple Typhlosions through the randomizer getting to this point, and they were not kind to my party. The fact of the matter is that if that crit, that would have killed. The rest of the Byron fight, though, was actually fairly easy, after just getting past that main hurdle. Then I went straight to do all the lake stuff. We started with Saturn. He was an absolute pushover. After dealing with him, I went back to Lake Verity to go help Lucas and the Professor deal with Mars. This Caesar gave me a whole helping of trouble. It had attracts, it had bug bite. Things were not looking great for me at the time, because I kept getting immobilized by love, so I couldn't hit the dang thing. After that, I hiked my happy ass up to Snow Point to go deal with Candace and her bullshit. She started off with a Rayquaza. Things weren't looking great for me at first because she lowered Papaleaf's attack right off the bat. Oh, and not to mention this Rayquaza had Brave Bird. The fact that it did so little damage still baffles me. But it did have Poison Point, and that annoyed the absolute hell out of me. Luckily for me, though, this fight was looking dicey at the beginning, but I did get a full restore out of the route before Snow Point in the grass, and I was able to hold on to it for a moment that I needed it. I needed to get rid of the attack debuff, so I just did a little hot swap to Clam and brought Papaleaf straight back in to finish the job. After that, I ran straight back to Veilstone over to the HQ of Galactic and fought Cyrus for the second time. His team was a little bit more formidable this time, but it still was a little bit of a pushover. After getting the Master Ball from Cyrus, but I went straight to Spear Pillar to go see my precious Satan emerge from the top of the mountain. Oh, and you best believe that the third battle with Cyrus inside the Distortion World, it was cake. It was so easy. and then it was time. My static encounters were randomized, but I still somehow got Giratina, and you best bet that I wasn't fucking around to see what Giratina had, so I just Master Balled him instantly. Then I ran over to go deal with Volkner in his gym. Volkner was interesting. I can't recall whether or not this went smoothly or not, but I did get through it without any deaths, I think. After beating Volkner, it was a hop, skip, to jump to the Elite Four. My team was wildly imbalanced, and Papaleaf was the only saving grace. And I was in a Steam chat, or Discord call with my friends, and I forgot about the rival fight right before the Elite Four, and I almost lost it. Now, something did occur which I completely forgot about in the moment. Being in a Discord call with my buddies, hyping up the end of the run, I forgot that Gabite died here, and I took him into the Elite Four. I only used him during the champion fight, but he didn't really do anything really all that important, so it would have just been done either by Papaleaf or by Giratina anyway. So his inclusion really doesn't matter. And it was taking way too long, so I decided to just speed it up. Now, what was funny is that we've already conquered Pokemon Satan, right? So the next step for Papaleaf was to go after God. We were all losing our shit in the voice call when we saw Arceus appear, but the fact that I beat him to death with Rock Smash, a notoriously awful move, is hilarious to me. And with the rival defeated, it was Elite Four time. We went up against the first Elite Four member. And this fight was right there in the middle of easy and difficulty. I knew that Regirock was going to live, so I was banking on the defense drop from Rock Smash so I could just wood hammer with absolute confidence. Yeah, and you can tell, Papaleaf was the carry of this squad. Being level 75 at the end, you can tell who was getting used the most and who had the most utility. Going into the second Elite Four member, it was interesting to say the least. There wasn't really too much that was too difficult about it, but more a matter of the Pokemon at her disposal were a little interesting to say the least. And yes, the level 18 Tauros named Fly, he did make it through the Elite Four. Now I knew this Venomoth was going to be trouble, so I decided to not let Papaleaf fight, as he would have been weak to two of its attack strings, or at least two types of attack that it would have had stab with. So I just sent in Specs Giratina and try to see what I can do. Luckily, not buying a whole lot of Pokeballs leaves you incredibly wealthy in a Nuzlocke like this, and I was fortunate, so I had 39 full stores. Going into the third Elite Four, it was honestly not a terrible fight. He didn't have anything that could really stop me or my team, so luckily this was a clean sweep. going into the 4th Elite Four member. Oh man, tensions were high. I was able to get through this battle scot-free though, however. No deaths. And after that, this was it. The final obstacle standing in my way for this Nuzlocke. Oh man, Pachirisu is terrifying, as it has ended runs for me in the past, just by sheerly existing. I'm just gonna let this battle speak for itself. On how lucky I got. And that's how I did it. The remainder of my team went into the Hall of Fame, even though technically Waffles and Death were both dead. They entered the Hall of Fame with their corpses anyway. I probably killed maybe about 20, 24-ish Pokemon on this journey, and that's how I did it. If you want to see more content like this, I've got a few other series that are currently being edited in the works, so please tune back and come see what my channel's all about. Hopefully this was a good taste.